Hi, welcome to City Talk. I'm Michelle Bono, the assistant to the city manager for the city of Tallahassee. Recently, Tallahassee won an award. It's kind of the civic equivalent to an Emmy Award, but it's called the All-America City Award. And actually, the city of Tallahassee didn't win it. It's the citizens of this community that won the award. It's all about people working together to solve problems. And on today's show, we're going to find out more about what the All-America City Award means to this community. Let's start by joining producer Gil Daspit to learn a little more about the All-America City Award.
On June 14th, Tallahassee won its second All-America City Award, having won previously in 1999. If you're wondering what the All-America City program is all about, think about President John F. Kennedy's famous proposition from his inaugural address.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
That statement challenges people to address problems by trying to make things better. Each year, the All-America City Award recognizes 10 cities where people have worked together to solve community problems. The All-America City program was started in 1949 by the National Civic League. The league dates from 1894 and lists Teddy Roosevelt among its founders. Among the league's core values are public participation, civic action, and inclusiveness. And the All-America City Award recognizes these attributes. The first step towards achieving the award is providing a detailed report about your community, including a bundle of statistical data and a succinct memoir of the previous 10 years. Tallahassee's included facts like voter turnout here has averaged 70% over 10 years. There's been excellent civic interaction through groups like the Village Square and the Night Creative Communities initiatives. There is an ongoing effort to address poverty through the Community Human Service Partnership. But the heart of the award is where cities explain ways their citizens take an active part in making their cities better. To do this, cities have to describe 3 community dilemmas and how citizens took the lead in solving them. Tallahassee listed Neighborhood Reach, Cascades Park, and the Distinguished Young Gentleman program as exceptional projects. Neighborhood Reach is a program to help economically vulnerable citizens take steps to lower their utility bills. In this program, local businesses and social service agencies work in partnership with city employees to give residents personalized assistance. Cascades Park is Tallahassee's showplace park, but developing it was very challenging. The area contained a deserted industrial site, had been part of a displaced African-American neighborhood, and sat in a floodplain. Numerous citizens groups such as the Night Creative Communities Initiative and the Cascade Stage Committee worked with Blueprint 2000 to produce such an outstanding park with a primary function of flood relief. The Distinguished Young Gentleman program, or DYG, was a major head-turner at Tallahassee's All-America City presentation. That's because DYG is having success with a dilemma that many people find unsolvable: how to boost achievement among minority teenage males. DYG was able to tell of accomplishments including $2.1 million in scholarships for 61 DYG members graduating high school over the past 3 years. Grade point average for the whole group increasing from 2.8 to 3.2 over 2 years. DYG youth working at over 30 community service projects in 2 years. Tallahassee described 3 strong projects that depended on citizen involvement for their success. As a result, Tallahassee joined the 9 other cities that earned the All-America City Award this year. The award doesn't mean there are not still challenges to address, but it does say that Tallahassee knows how to resolve them. Because in our community, people join forces, pool their resources, and find solutions.
Uh-oh, it's flashing lights up there. What should I do?
You should stop, look, and listen.
I should what?
You should stop. This is a mid-block crossing. When the lights are flashing, someone wants to cross. So we have to let the pedestrians go. We have to stop.
Okay, so you're saying I should stop. Crossing time. Oh,
Exactly. Or you could stop in the name of lights before you break my heart. Think it over.
Visit talgov.com.
Hi, welcome back to City Talk. On today's show, we're talking about why Tallahassee was named a 2015 All-America City. And on our first segment, we have two experts that helped us get this award. It's our Mayor, Andrew Gillum. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Also, our Assistant City Manager for Safety and Neighborhood Services, Dee Crumpler. Welcome, Dee.
Welcome, Michelle.
Okay, so the first basics. People say, what is the All-America City Award? It sounds like an award that's, you know, a red, white, and blue, let's cheer for the city.
Yeah. Well, it is. I mean,
okay.
it's patriotic as we approach the holiday season, but more importantly, this award really is consistent with being, you know, considered the sort of housekeeping seal of approval for cities. It's cities who are, you know, doing it right. They're being innovative. They're including various parts of their community. They're looking at their community's issues and they're collaborating to bring about really productive and effective solutions. Tallahassee was selected, obviously, as an All-America City, but before we even got to that point, we were outreached by that organization and asked to consider applying this time. It had been a little more than 15 years since we last applied. In fact, Commissioner Maddox and I joked. Mayor Maddox at that point was mayor of the city when we won this award. And he said, yeah, we need about 15 years to prepare for this thing. Enough growth and progress to happen for us to be competitive again. And so it was a huge honor, obviously, for the city.
Yeah.
So it was 1999 when we won the first time. Some of us were with the city back in 1999.
Right.
I tell you, it was a huge recognition at that point. I think you're right, though. 15 years, a lot has changed.
A lot has changed. A lot has changed. I mean, I think I joined the City Commission in 2003, and Gain Street didn't look the way that it looked. I mean, most people consider downtown, the city of Tallahassee being what happens on the university campus and everything else.
Right.
And now we talk about different sides of town. We talk about Cascades Park. We talk about Gain Street or G Street. We talk about downtown, Midtown.
Right.
And even now on the north end of the city, the Timber Lane area, folks are gravitating to these centers of attraction, of activity. And Tallahassee has grown tremendously, and I think it was about time that we went back at that recognition.
Yeah, one thing, Michelle, that it doesn't mean is that we're a perfect city. As the
That's
mayor
right.
said, and as others said, you know, we were asked, what's the sauce that makes us a great place to live in an all-American city? And it's that we care about our community, that we identify our weaknesses, and we work with the community to solve those problems. And, you know, as the governor of Colorado who came in and spoke to the group that was there, he walked in and he said, you know, it's been years since I've been in a room with so much energy. And so we fed off of that as municipal governments and communities with our partners around the country that were trying to also win this. And it was really neat to be involved with people that are excited about the work, the municipal work that they do.
And so many citizens there as well.
And
That
so
was
many
amazing.
citizens, and you know, to learn, for example, and I know we're going to talk about it here in a minute, the REACH program. I mean, I knew what the REACH program was, but when you actually see some of the participants that came out there with us, and you break bread with them, and you talk to them, and they tell you how important this one program with the city of Tallahassee and how it's impacted their lives and their families' lives. It's very heartwarming and made me very proud to be a citizen of this great community.
Well, let's jump right back into that then. So when you apply for this award, and communities across the country, not all cities, some are counties, some are boroughs, different areas, When they apply, the National Civic League says, tell us about 3 projects in your community that are great examples of how you work together to solve problems. And they also specifically this year asked Tallahassee to apply because they knew that we have a good history of these innovations, and they specified they wanted one program to look at how do we work with vulnerable young males. Let's talk about what were the programs we submitted.
Yeah, well, Dee has already referenced our work on the REACH program, but the distinguished young gentleman, the last time we competed in 1999, the Tallahassee Boys Choir went, and they represented for this community, and I think they touched every heart in the place. And this year, we had a project, similar targets, young black and brown men who are in this community most at risk and most vulnerable, and the amazing work that that program is doing. Their founder, Ramon Alexander, and all of the administrative staff, the fact that they're engaging these young men principally on their GPAs in school, so you have to have at least a 2.0 to even qualify to participate. They're teaching them discipline, what it means to be a gentleman, to not sag, to tie a tie, both bow ties as well as long neckties.
They did like Dee's bow ties.
Yeah, they did like Dee's. Dee, you ought to supply them a couple. Dee makes his own ties.
He does.
They're already talking to me about that.
Okay.
Exactly. But the program is such a great demonstration of when this community sees a problem. And our challenge has been in particular how we engage with young men of color in this community, making sure that they're attached to mentors, are receiving access to the kind of knowledge and skills and tools that they need to navigate not only what it means to be a teen, but the next phase of their life, going on to college and beyond.
With 96% of those kids going on to college.
That's exactly right.
amazing.
And I understand more than $2 million in the lifespan of their organization recruited and scholarship money that those young people have gotten. So an incredible program.
And just nice kids too.
Absolutely.
They're
Very polite.
absolutely just wonderful young men. I called them kids when I started, and after I had the opportunity to spend the weekend with them, just the young men that they've grown into. I actually had the opportunity to go out to dinner with the group on Saturday night, and to sit in the banquet room and have citizens who had interacted with them from around this country and seen their presentation come in and say, "Excuse us for interrupting your dinner. We just wanted to recognize how proud we are of
These
what
young
you're
men,
doing."
right.
And also, Larry Thompson and the 50 Large group was there as well. So there's a lot of interaction with different groups in this community, which help, I think, compel us to victory.
Yeah. And third, we highlighted our work at Cascades Park. Everybody in this community has gotten to know and interact with that park in a different kind of way. I like to describe Cascades Park as the place where the people of this community go to meet themselves. And it really is the case that no matter what side of town you live on, what your economic salary or background is, that you can come out, you can enjoy the best of Tallahassee, our weather, the park amenities, and the great work that went into taking what was supposed to be a stormwater retention facility
Which
to help
could have been
solve.
dog ugly.
It could have been all of those things. It's
Right.
certainly not a place where people gather, right?
Right.
And the fact that we took what was supposed to be, a very functional, stormwater facility and made it a world-class, this community, Central Park,
Right.
is pretty incredible. And I think that's what makes us as a community very different than a lot of places. We could have done it the simple, easy way, but we did it the difficult, the challenging, the way that brings people to this community and makes them really proud to be from the city of Tallahassee. And together, those three were the projects we presented that qualified us as an All-America city.
And,
Well, and
the
for
other part that Cascades is often left behind is that it was a brownfield. And then, as you know, in the
Right.
presentation, we talked about how the leaders from Pensacola and Tallahassee, or from St. Augustine, decided we need to find some place neutral, and they came to a place called Cascades Park. And the people in Denver and our competition were impressed with how it became from a brownfield to, as the mayor said, a place where people in our community come to meet and learn about each other and themselves.
Well, and we mentioned Neighborhood Reach. For people not familiar with that, that's where there's a lot of home improvements done to make homes in low-income areas more energy efficient, but we partnered with all these other social service agencies to say, hey, once we've formed a relationship, let's also connect you to child care and healthy foods and farmers markets and so much more in the neighborhood pride. So that also was just tremendous.
Well, Delmas had the quote of the century.
Yeah, that was
Yes,
perfect.
Delmas
I was gonna
Barber.
talk about
Yeah,
that.
with Delmas Barber, who helps to work in that program, you know, part of the secret sauce, you know, one of the things in his answer, he mentioned that REACH is the organization that is actually referring their clients out to other social service entities, not the other way around. And that really resonated with the judges and anybody who knows social service organizations. Those are the organizations that are usually finding other resources to connect their clients to. In this case, this is a function, you know, that we have taken on as government and as the energy company to go into these homes, see where the problems are, and then connect them to the resources in the community that could help them sort of ease their way where possible.
Now, you know, people have heard about us going. We took 70 people to Denver, the boys on a 26 or 28-hour bus ride.
They're better than me.
God bless them.
That's a long bus ride. And raised more than $33,000 from this community to pay for the cost for those kids to go and take part. What does this award mean to the community? When people say, well, that's nice, we like getting recognized, but why is it a big deal? Why does it matter?
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, and this is no secret to anybody, we've had a tough couple of weeks. Various, you know, pieces of news and surveys coming out nationally. We had our own bout here locally with a little bit of a rage of crime at one point. And we're working our way through that. And it was important for us to communicate to the community that just because we got this designation doesn't mean that we are a community without problems.
Right.
We have our problems just like other cities, just like other communities have their problems. It's what we choose to do about those problems by way of addressing them is what matters. And I think that the timing could not have been any better for our community. We needed a attaboy and a pat on the back and a, you know what, you're doing well, keep doing what it is that you're doing. It's a long road to becoming the kind of community that you want to be, but you all are well along on that path. And so I know that we're a great city. I know Dee knows that we're a great community, but now this Good Housekeeping seal of approval that Tallahassee is a 2015 All-America City as we try to recruit baby boomers here, retirees, retain our talent coming off of our campuses to work here and build businesses here. This is an important designation for us, and it was a very, very pride-filled moment when our names were called.
Wow.
And it's just another notch, you know, in the successes of this community. You know, the chamber was there, business leaders were there. The president of SUDIC was there from the chamber. She realized that, you know, this is, again, another notch that shows to people that want to stay here, that are attending our universities, and new businesses and people that aren't familiar with Tallahassee, that this is a great place to live.
Right, as well as our universities, healthcare. We had such great representation. Well, I want to thank you both for making sure that people know what this is about, why it's important, and for helping us spread the word that it's really the community's award. So thank you both for being on this part of our show. We appreciate it.
It's a pleasure.
When we come back, we're going to talk exactly about the business community. What are they doing? Why is this important to them? Stay with us.
The Tally Parks app, a free app from the city of Tallahassee, is available for download. With the app, you can search by trail marker, scan QR codes on trails to find locations, and find features like basketball courts or playgrounds. The Tally Parks app is free in the Google Play Store and in the Apple App Store. The Tally Parks app is a great app for discovering the best parks in America. Unlike other map services, it helps you find all the parks and trails, plus the hidden gems that make Tallahassee unique.
Hi, welcome back to City Talk. On today's show, we're talking about why Tallahassee is a 2015 All-America City. And actually, on this part of our show, we want to talk about what's it mean to the businesses and the people who live in our community. We have two experts to help us with that. Sue Dick, who is the president and CEO of the Greater Tallahassee Chamber of Commerce and the Economic Development Council. That would be the world's longest title. And also Matt Thompson, the shortest title, owner of Madison Social. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so let's talk first about what do you all do and why is this an important issue to you?
I'm going to let the business person go first because this is my job is easier when we have great businesses in our community. So I'm going to let Matt go first.
Okay.
So my name's Matt Thompson. I'm owner at Madison Social, and we're a restaurant down in the new district. As the mayor talked about, the Gain Street and the Collegetown district. Right. We are a restaurant down in that area, and have been in business since August of 2013.
And a great place to eat. Have been there numerous times. Love it.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Sue, and people probably know who Sue Dick is, but tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Well, thank you. We are. I have one of the best jobs in the world, I think, at least within the state, maybe this region, promoting our local businesses. And what we're talking about today, promoting why Tallahassee is such a great place to have a business, but also to live and to celebrate the All-America designation, which is what I call a seal of approval from outside your market, which is sometimes the best approval rating you can get.
Well, and we talked earlier about how this award is really about how we solve problems together. Why is that important in the business community? I mean, we know it's important in addressing community issues. It's important in, I guess, almost every aspect, but why is it particularly important in the business community?
You know, I'll take it if I can, just
yes, definitely.
From a chamber side. And again, the chamber is as strong as our business community and our partners. So really that's when you talk about your Chamber of Commerce, it's 1,400 plus members along with our partners, and in this case working with the city and working with our local governments, but really looking at our community and saying how do we continue to be competitive and how do we highlight what we've done to make ourselves a better community. It's okay to say that there are things that we need to improve on, and that was one of the things that I saw and felt while in Denver. You know, to get better, you have to improve upon things that may not be what you want. So right. I think it's really important that that's what this process has done. And I think for our businesses in our community, our businesses, we're lucky to have every business that's in our community. They could be anywhere else, but they love Tallahassee. And I think as I've gotten to know Matt as well and his entire team, he could be anywhere in the nation, but he's here in Tallahassee, and we're lucky for that. And what he brings really helps make Tallahassee a place that you want to live and stay and grow your business.
Well, before we ever went to the All-America City competition in June of this year, there was a campaign started that each city was going to be competing for a social media award. We know we're home to 60,000 college students. We have the smartest people in the state of Florida right here in Tallahassee, so we figured we had a good shot at that. So we started asking people to share with us why they thought we were an All-America City. What is it that they loved about Tallahassee? Madison Social was like one of the first businesses out of the door saying, we got this. Tell us what you did and why was it important?
Well, I mean, we have an audience of like 20,000 people online, and so it was kind of a no-brainer for us, and obviously the name social, and you got social media, and you see it there, and it all kind of plays out really well. And I believe it was the city of Tallahassee is what I saw it from, as well as Urban Tallahassee is another following that I have, or I follow, I should say. And we just shared it out, and it went like gangbusters with our community because they all love Tallahassee. And that's really what we're about. We're not all about just food and drink and all those things. I really want to build a place, as the mayor mentioned before, you know, it used to be the university and then there was the city. I want to have a place that brings everything together. And so our audience is all about that already.
Well, there were numerous businesses that did at Madison Social. We had one local law firm that established their own All-America City web page that was all focused on that. But we just saw the immediate outpouring of support, not just from citizens, but from the business community. And we're very proud that when they called Tallahassee was the winner of the Social Media Award, we had that same reaction. We had so many responses, so many pictures shared, so many stories shared about what people loved. So now the award is here. And people say, well, that's nice. You know, we're glad that we're getting recognized. How do businesses use this to their advantage? Because I do think there's an advantage for our local businesses.
Sure. I think a lot of our businesses, they're not only trying to sell to clients, they're also selling to grow their workforce and to retain their talent. So to be able to say, you know, why would I want to be in Tallahassee, or why do I want to do business with a business in Tallahassee? You add this to the list that is quickly growing, whether we're the #1 city for startups in the state of Florida, whether we're the most livable city, where we have the highest level of graduates or postgraduate degrees within our community.
The best place for seniors to live.
Exactly. You know, if you can start covering all the bases, it's exactly what you want to do. And I think what All-America City designation says is that there's only a couple other ones within the nation this year that can call that award. We've won it now twice. And it just continues to add to our portfolio and say we are the best of the best, and you use it for marketing and you use it to tell your message and your story.
Well, Matt, tell us a little bit about what you all did, because these glasses we have here on the table, these are collector items.
Right.
I mean, people were fighting to get one of these glasses at your event. Tell us about that.
So we had an event back on July 1st, and we had a great turnout, and we called it the All-America Social. And I mean, obviously, you know, I mean,
yes, had to tie into the business there.
You got to get tied in a little bit. And we had everybody from city officials to city administrators to college students to exactly
to neighbors
to what the award is really about, right? The things that make us unique as a community. And we had 100 pint glasses, and we filled them with some Grasslands Brewery brew.
A local brew, by the way.
Local innovative brew that is starting up. And we gave it out for free, and everybody came down and had a great time. And I believe somewhere around 6:08 or 6:10, they were all gone. So.
I know that we were all saying we want one of those glasses. You know, we had a call from the Yellow Cab Company that said, hey, we'd like to put these on our cabs. One of the things we want the business community to know, or our citizens to know, we have put that logo on the city's website. It is available for use by anyone in this community. It can be a business, it can be a homeowner. If you're proud of this award, it's yours. And so we love, though, I do think, Matt, you get the award for being the first to do it.
Right.
And so I do think these glasses with the with Madison Social on one side and the All-America City logo on the other just exemplify what your business has been about. So we do appreciate that.
Oh, thank you very much.
Now, Sue, going forward, when people say, you know, quality of life, you talked about what kind of people you want to attract to a community. How do businesses leverage that?
Well, I think, first of all, they recognize what it took to become an All-America City. And I think the partnerships, this is a public and a private event or really honor, so you have your local governments that are working with your business community. They leverage it by also saying all the things that are important to you as a community or someone who wants to live in a community is here represented by the All-America City and the designation. So I think what it also does is bring attention to areas that we have really worked towards, to making sure that we take care of our youth, that we conducted one of the biggest infrastructure projects. All you have to do is come into Tallahassee to see Cascades Park and to realize what an asset that is to our community. I mean, the 4th of July celebration or concert series, tying, as Matt said, tying the town with the gown. It's a great location to enjoy. And then when you look at the program with the utilities program, with regards to the city-owned utilities working within our neighborhoods and our communities, it really shows that it's a caring community that pays attention to key issues and issues that are also related to economics, and that's a great message to tell businesses and employers, and it's an engaged community that works together.
You know, even with the outreach with the Distinguished Young Gentlemen, first of all, these are kids. Matt, if somebody comes to your door and says, I'm with Distinguished Young Gentlemen, you should hire those kids because they are incredible.
We sponsor 50 Large. Every
That's outstanding.
2 weeks, we deliver all the food for all their meetings and held a Christmas party for them last year.
And 50 Large is another one of the groups that works with vulnerable young men to help them move ahead. And I tell you, these kids are, and I say kids, young men, they are young men, but they are an incredible representation of our community. And I think when we talk about addressing quality of life, it starts with young kids. It starts with how do we make sure they're getting the foundation they need and the right opportunities to be able to be successful. And that program was such a great representation of that.
Well, and I think it was also what I took away. It wasn't just a weekend away to try and tell our story. It was also the work done ahead of time, and since then have been many community meetings where we're working together. And so it's about relationships, and that's what's special about Tallahassee. And anyone that lives here or anyone who moves here stays here because they see it's a community that cares and a community that's based on relationships and friendships of trying to do really great things for our community.
Well, we thank you both for what you've done, not only for this celebration, but what you do for our community every day. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Michelle.
Thanks for having me.
So we do hope now that you're intrigued with this whole concept of being an All-America City, that you take personal ownership. Again, we do have the All-America City logo on the city's website. You can just go to talgov.com. Please download it, use it, and help us promote the fact that we are very proud that our citizens, our business, government, and nonprofits all work together so that we were named a 2015 All-America City. Thanks for watching this edition of City Talk.